Earlier today, I spoke with attorney Eric Bland, who has represented many of the people who say they were victimized by Murdaugh. He's also the host of the very popular true crime podcast, Cup of Justice. Eric, interesting day in court. I'm happy to have you. I know you were there. I mean, for me, I thought it was fascinating that the judge basically said, assume I don't know anything about the first trial. I'd be like, you're probably the only person that doesn't know about this case, if that's true. But you and I were just talking right before this. You said there were some tells. There were some tells from the judge. There's some tells from defense attorneys. What did you mean by that?
Well, I think that, always the second trial benefits the defense, and Harpootlian gave away that they're going to have 8 new expert witnesses. And a lot of it could be related to AI. Jim Griffin, his co-counsel, said that in 2021, when a lot of the DNA was tested and the blood tests were done, AI wasn't even around. So they have 8 new expert witnesses. The judge's tell was that she said, look, I prefer this type of large courtroom. Obviously, it's her home county, but it's a very large courtroom with a 4-story courthouse with a lot of overflow in the hallway. And if you remember in Colleton County, that courthouse is over 125 years old. There's no overflow outside the courtroom. So I think we're going to see a change of venue.
I was going to ask you that. Let me just jump in because, again, she may never claim she never heard the case. I feel like everybody there knows. This has to be moved out of Colleton County, right? I mean, where would it go?
Well, it's going to go to a more modern courthouse. She really talked about, look, we have room for all the bailiffs. We have a bigger room for more spectators. We have overflow out inside the hallways, a bigger parking lot. So, Jesse, I think we're going to see a more modern courthouse, and whether that is in Lexington, South Carolina, or Spartanburg, South Carolina, we have about 6 or 8 really good new modern courthouses, and especially with the technology that lawyers use, that really wasn't available in the Colleton County Courthouse. They makeshifted a lot of the computer and animation and different things. Now, everybody has a screen at their table. The jurors have the screens in front of them. So it wouldn't surprise me if this moves to a more modern courthouse.
And by the way, we're talking like it was 3 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long, but time has changed. By the way, you talked about new experts. Big topic of conversation today was about perhaps this new DNA testing of material or evidence found underneath Maggie Murdaugh's fingernails, perhaps this unknown male DNA. Defense wants an independent lab to test it. I think they might be footing the bill. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's important and certainly should be discoverable. But again, Creighton Wooders said that could be what's called touch DNA, Jesse, where when you shake somebody's hand or you're scratching somebody's hand, or you touch a doorknob, you can get touch DNA, especially if she has longer nails. Anything can go, if the nail exceeds the length of her finger, anything can go under it. But, Harpootlian made a very strange argument. He said, look, I think we have a big discovery battle in front of us. And the judge said, well, tell me what you mean. And he said, well, I don't know what I don't know. But I'm not saying that the state hasn't turned over everything, but here's an example. And he read from a letter of the investigative officer that came to the scene, who said, well, there was all this standing water and too many people came on there. And he said, look, I want to find out from this officer if anything was removed. But then again, he said, I'm not criticizing the state. They have turned over everything that we know about. And Creighton Wooders stand up and said, look, I've been complying with my auditing obligation of all of our evidence, and anything we get new, we turn over, such as the OnStar information. But he said, Mr. Harpootlian can't just raise an issue and then not identify that issue. And saying, I don't know what I don't know is really not an argument.
And I'm going to be curious to see what this new trial looks like. I mean, we didn't even talk about the idea of the length of financial crimes evidence being allowed in what degree, because the Supreme Court that overturned his convictions was kind of a little bit critical, said it spent too much time on it. So listen, you have an open platform here. This is going to continue. Can't believe we're talking Alex Murdaugh 2.0. But Eric Bland, thank you so much for giving your take, and thank you so much for being our eyes and ears inside that courtroom.
Have me on anytime, Jesse. You're A1.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.